I'm Tom Goodfellow. I'm the Programme Director of the Masters in Cities and Global Development here in the Department of Urban Studies and Planning at the University of Sheffield. The Masters in Cities and Global Development offers what we believe is a unique combination of factors within a Masters programme in the UK, in that it's accredited by the Royal Town Planning Institute, which gives students a professional accreditation. It also incorporates an international urban field class, and there's an option for students to undertake a group-based project for an external client in an urban-related, a real-world urban problem. This course also comes at a critical moment. This year, 2015, the United Nations is announcing its new Sustainable Development Goals, and among those goals is a standalone goal on making cities more inclusive and sustainable. At the same time, the United Nations is moving towards a new urban agenda for the next 20 years. And this represents a new urban age in international development policy and practice after a period where most international development work has been focused on rural areas. So we want to prepare students to seize the opportunities that this provides. So more and more international donors, NGOs, private companies are investing in urban areas and thinking about urban rather than rural poverty. And at the same time, planning consultancies based in the global north, in the UK or Europe with the United States, are increasingly working in the global south in developing countries. So this is the range of opportunities that we aim to provide our students to be able to meet. Core modules on the course include a jointly taught module with the Department of Geography here called Ideas and Practice in International Development, where you'll be taught by experts in particular fields of development and urban planning from within both departments. That's one core module. We then have a core module focused specifically on urban development in the global south, where you look at particular cities with particular challenges and how those might be addressed. So we have, for example, the attempt to develop an eco-city in the Middle East, a zero-carbon city, and the challenges facing that. We have a study of Johannesburg and the problems of social exclusion that continue in that city and how that might be addressed through planning, for example. There's also a core theoretical course on kind of urban theory and planning theory and how the ideas coming from the global north do or don't apply in cities of the global south. And then you'll have a core module in research methods that aims to prepare you for your dissertation, which you'll undertake towards the end of the year. We also offer a new module that is designed specifically for this master's programme called the International Urban Development Consultancy Project. This module enables students to work in groups on projects that are set by an external organisation. Now that could be a UN organisation, an international donor, a government department or a private company or an NGO. But that organisation will define the terms of a project that they would like students to work on. That could be a review of what other organisations are doing in a particular field of urban development. It could be an analysis of literature. We let the clients decide what they need for their organisation. And our students develop a project document for them, which they then present to the client. So they get the experience of working as student consultants for an outside organisation, as well as that project being marked academically by us within the department. And this has the potential to lead to all sorts of opportunities, including internships and placements. In the second semester of the course in spring, students will go on an international urban field class, which in recent years has been to Istanbul. Before that we did it in Egypt. And the idea is to go to a part of a developing world city that is experiencing rapid change of some kind, and students can engage with the dynamics of that change and how it affects how we think about planning and design in that space. So there's an urban design module that accompanies the trip, and we have urban design experts within the department from the Global South who come in and think about those challenges, social, environmental and economic challenges of designing better urban spaces in developing world cities. And this opportunity, this field trip, is one of the real highlights of the course for students and often leads to careers related to urban design and planning in the Global South, as well as in many cases people focusing their dissertation on challenges associated with that particular city. Graduates from the course move on to a very wide range of careers both in the UK and internationally. We have several graduates have gone to work in the United Nations Human Settlements Programme, also known as UN Habitat, in different fields in different parts of the world. We've also got graduates who've worked for different parts of the UN, for example, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. We have students who go to work for the World Bank, for example. We've got someone working on infrastructure as an infrastructure advisor, also within the UK Department for International Development. We have students working for international planning consultancies on issues such as energy efficiency planning in various parts of the world. We've got students who remain in Europe, who are working on European planning projects, and students who work in the UK. So we have a range of students who decide to remain in the UK and work for British planning consultancies, and they have the tools and the accreditation to do that. And then there's also a certain number of our students who go on to study PhDs, often within our department as well as elsewhere. So it's a very, very broad range encompassing international development work, policy making, frontline international development practice for people who go and work at the NGO level, and also planning and in some cases urban design, either in the UK or abroad. My own research background and research interests are centred on Eastern Africa, which is the fastest urbanising region of the world. And during my PhD, where I was comparing different cities in that region and how they were dealing with challenges of rapid growth, I was also working for Oxfam, in association with Oxfam, helping them develop their own urban strategy. I've worked on issues relating to the informal economy and how you govern spaces where there are very little regulations in place. I've worked on issues about how you raise taxes to fund basic services in cities. And I've worked on issues to do with economic growth and how you try and develop cities that are economically viable and resilient. As well as being taught by me, you'll be taught by a range of staff with different expertise in different areas of the world, including South Africa, India, and parts of Latin America. And we have staff who focus on issues ranging from domestic violence, access to housing, public participation, planning, and also a range of subjects that will be taught to you by people from the geography department in issues to do with environmental sustainability, rural livelihoods, and environmental change. In addition to all these modules focused on international development, you have the opportunity in your second semester to study all the standard modules available within our department. So that includes modules focused on housing or environmental change within the UK, dealing with global climate change, issues around real estate development and urban economics, and a whole host of other topics that you may choose to focus on.